Okay, so unmute yourselves and tell me what are you lying to yourself about? Because if you tell me what it is, I can help you with it. What are you lying to yourself about?
We got a big list.
Yes?
Well, a list of big things on it. Uh,
Perfect.
one is that we don't know where to find the clients that
Yeah.
will that will pay this kind of pricing.
They can't
Okay.
afford us.
When we look at the people that we see, they don't buy these kinds of things at this price point. So
Okay, so I
it's
just
not
want
that
to
we don't believe anybody can afford it, but we don't
ask.
know where the people who can afford it are found.
Okay, and what I'm gonna do in this whole year and in each visit is I'm gonna troubleshoot each of your businesses in particular. So I want you to start to tell me about your businesses. If you don't want to, you can message me that I'm not gonna do that. But will you please tell me what is your price point?
Well, that's another thing on our list is I essentially don't have a business. I have an idea for one that lives in my head.
Okay. So this is interesting. So the people you don't know where they are can't afford you at a price that you don't know what it is. All right. I can see how that's a problem.
Yeah, big problem.
Okay.
Um,
Back.
Expensive for what?
so part of it too, I am trained in hypnosis,
Yeah.
but my income right now is I'm a tarot reader on a psychic line.
Okay.
And
Okay.
tarot reading is what I've done for my career. And
Okay.
there is so much overlap in what
Sure.
unfolds in a real tarot session and what happens in a hypnosis session.
Yep.
And right now, what I'd like to do is move off of that line and be getting my own private clients, and I'm not allowed to poach.
What is your goal income? Like if you could replace your income, what would it be?
Well, to replace the income would be the 100K.
Okay.
But like goals are much loftier
Okay.
than that.
And just when you're setting your income goals, I'm just gonna coach you as I go, so I don't have an order here. When you're setting your income goals, set it at a number that you've made once in your life already. Like I don't believe in, oh, I'm gonna make $250,000 when I've only ever made 75. Like, no, that's not gonna happen. So if you've made 100, make the first goal of your next business 100. Okay,
Okay.
so everybody think about that as you're pricing your product and preparing your 2025 goal, which you should have done 3 months ago. But if you're doing it now, do it that way. So like Jim is a decorated veteran. I don't know how much you guys make, but like that's a number you could use in a real way because you've received that in your life already. So you know how to hold it. Yeah, Jim, you're muted.
Going along with this conversation, my goal for this year is to transition into being the primary breadwinner.
Okay.
And so I said, intuitively, I need to make $150,000 a year.
Okay. Net or gross?
Well, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
And so in my exercise of thinking through this, I thought, okay, I need to, oh, my wife is making that, so that's what I need to do. And then I said, okay, my federal income tax is at 24%. So then I added 24% to my
Right.
150,000 and
Yeah.
I'm chugging along and I'm trying to figure out how many clients per week and
Yeah.
all this stuff. And then I go, well, crap, I've also got state tax. So then I had to circle back around.
Yep.
And so I calculate I'm going to have to make 175,000
Yep. By the way,
because
I'm writing notes on all of you guys. So if I'm not watching, it's because I'm taking notes on each of your businesses because I want to make sure we follow these goals. Keep going.
so I figured out $25,000 of that is going to be
Yes.
taxes to either the state and federal. And
The
that's
other,
totally foreign to me because a lot of my income is non-taxable right now. So
yep.
I had to think through.
Yep.
I mean, for some people that might have been a no-brainer, but for me, I'm sitting there going,
Oh, that was not a no-brainer. Do you know that I just paid off my first year hypnosis big year taxes because they were astronomical and I had not planned for it. The year I made the 150, I live in Canada. I owed like almost $40,000 in taxes. It was
Oh my God.
yes. So I paid it at like 25 off the bat because I had saved it, but then I had to pay off that 15 because I hadn't thought about that I had made so much money that I would be so taxed. So this is definitely a growth problem. By the way, another growth problem that probably you don't realize you have is as you grow, your expenses grow. So like now I have an employee who I pay her bills. Her family eats off of my income. If I don't pay her, it's not good. So now I have an added income problem, like so as you're thinking through money, you have to keep on iterating all the time. Oh, I made more. Oh, I need to now grow all of my other ideas. Okay, I see Sierra shared some of her lies. I'm not qualified. I don't know how to talk about what I do. I don't have time to market. I don't have the support I need at home. My niche won't understand the value of this solution. Okay, these are all good lies that you've told yourself. I'm not qualified, so I have millions of questions on that, but I'll wait.
I have
Okay, yeah, go ahead. What's yours?
another is the fear that this exposes us to greater legal liability,
Okay.
especially talking about hypnosis and how you're claiming to fix problems. And
Yes.
in, these might be problems you're not allowed to say that you fix.
Yeah.
And you can fly under the radar if you're smaller, but the bigger you get and the more clients you have, the more of them could sue
Yes.
you, or the more local, state psychological boards can tell you you're
Yeah.
doing psychology without a license and those kinds of things.
And the person that we all trained with doesn't
Yes.
talk about those things because I don't know.
He also lives in a place where there's
Yes. Law is pretty.
legal liability, and his first clients were lawyers who were
Yeah.
happy to help him.
I agree with all of those objections. I have already faced that. I've already been banned by my local Facebook group for saying that I work with PTSD. They prevent, like everybody is allowed to advertise there on Mondays except me. So I've already faced this kind of backlash, absolutely. And for example, in Quebec, where I live, you cannot say hypnotherapy, you have to say hypnosis. So it's
That's
very
As well.
it's very important when you're making your social media not to say that. I can't use the word cure. I can't use the word medical problems. I can't even talk about headaches or any physical things. So absolutely, you have to know what the law is in your state and country. At the same time, there's a bit of an excuse there as well, which is, oh, I'm afraid of what might happen. Like, well, that's life in business. Like that's just the risk we take by being entrepreneurs.
my first training was with the NGH, the National Guild, and
Yeah.
they just taught out all the things that you must not do.
And it's extraordinarily restrictive.
That's right.
And they
And
say they'll support you if you follow all these rules, but not if you don't.
I get that. Yep, absolutely. Okay. But there's a bit of a lie in there too, which is I can't do it.
Of course.
sure, but
Okay.
it's on our list of
But I
lies.
hear you. That's not all lies. That's partly like stuff you need to be informed about.
Yeah.
Sure.
What else? What are the other lies you're telling yourselves?
Other one is the bigger this gets, the more like it seems like a big consuming thing to run and to maintain. And like, how do you find the time in your life to run and maintain such a thing when you've got other, life bullshit that you have to constantly manage at the same time?
Well, you guys all know I have lots of life bullshit, so
That's the reason why we're here. We know you
asking
have
the right-
that. You're
you're
not
asking the right person.
you're not just a single man living alone in your apartment. Like
That's right.
Or
Yeah,
you're
you guys, I mean, I don't know if you guys all know, I have an international custody case problem. I have 2 kids that I pay for on my own. I mean, I live alone, got all kinds of, actual real life problems. And yet I still have to show up here and help people with theirs. So these are good questions. Okay, Cindy, I failed for so long, I'll never be really successful. Hey, that's past results, girl. You know how to deal with that. Past results do not tell us anything about tomorrow, so forget that one. But yes, we'll deal with it. I can't do it in 1, 2, or even 3. Really? You still believe that? Okay, we're gonna deal with that like pronto, next visit. That one we can deal with. I will never have a real visit during the school day. Why? Because the kids are, why can't you have it in the school day?
Like if I'm only working during the school day.
What do you think I'm doing?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course you can have it during the school day. That's the work day. Yes, you absolutely can. I don't know what it takes to have more than a hobby or hobby money. I just need to go back to hourly rate of $200 an hour. No, no, we're not doing that. I'm working as hard as I can. Ha ha ha. Great list, Cindy. That list, if you get through that one list, you will make the money. That one list is enough for you to actually do the 100K. So how long have you been in business?
So coming from the world of psychotherapy, the billable insurance hours, all of that fun stuff. And my go first is that I need to believe for myself that it can be done in 1, 2, or 3 sessions
Yeah.
without needing,
Right.
the come see me once a week for the rest of your fucking life to be
Mhm.
successful model that, I still have all these student loans for.
Yeah.
So that's my go
Why?
first.
Mhm.
Um, I also need to, as you know, the last 3 years of my life have been a shit show. I lost my dad, I lost my best friend, both to the same thing, just this last year. And I have been stagnant for like 3 years. So I just need to get my mind back,
Yeah.
like in the game, you know?
Okay. Fair.
So
I love these. These are all great. I'm so excited because I can see you all in 30 or 60 or 90 days being like, why did I believe that? So I'm very excited for you to be sharing this. And all of these are things I totally believe we can handle 100%. I haven't registered my business because I live in Saudi Arabia, which takes mental health very seriously. I can't practice here without a license. Okay, well, that's a legal problem. Definitely, you need to get legal advice on that. I don't know what the answer is to that. Obviously, don't take a risk that is going to get you put in jail or fined or whatever. That's not worth it. And I mean, like somebody asked me this morning, if I pay in cash, can I save myself the tax? Part of me was like, okay, she can. But then the real answer is no, because even if you pay in cash, if you happen to be a tax person, I'm going to lose my ass. This is my business we're talking about. So all of these legal things are like, there's just no, that's where we can't be our badass selves and we have to actually just conform to reality. So don't ever make excuses around legal things because they'll find you later. I charged her the tax. I don't have time to do it all. I don't have the skills. I don't have the right niche. I don't know everything I need to know to start marketing. Okay. You think you're going to know everything you need to know before you start? How's that going to work?
These are the lies I'm telling myself.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's a failing forward model. We're not going to know everything. I don't know anything. I just made it up as I went, and it's just I kept the things that are working. Okay, anybody else? These are really good. I'm totally going to use the transcript on these to make up the course. I'm glad I did it this way. I need to find the perfect niche before I promote my biz. How are you going to know if it's perfect if you don't promote it? Patrick, how are you going to know it's the perfect niche if you don't promote it and find out? It's true, Tiani. I'm just inventing the wheel as I go. I have a very courageous personality, so that's me. I don't have anything interesting in my daily routine to shoot attention grabbing footage for IG Reels. Okay, interesting objection. Why do you need to share something interesting when you have knowledge to share? Share education. Automation and education. Those are the two things we're going to develop in this course. How to automate your whole business and how to educate your clientele. If you do those two things, that's a business. Automation and education. If you don't know what to talk about, educate people. If you don't know what to work on automation. Those are the two key pillars, education and automation.